friends, welcome to my channel. So in the today's lecture, we are going to discuss what is non-contiguous allocation. Till now, we have discussed contiguous allocation. Okay, but in this video, I am going to talk about non-contiguous allocation. What is the meaning of non-contiguous? Okay, let's suppose this is hard disk. Okay, we are having hard disk and I am having 4 processes present in the hard disk. Process P1, P2, P3 and P4. So, what is the meaning of non-contiguous? Non-contiguous concept is basically used when we want many number of processes to be present in main memory. Okay, this is my main memory. In contiguous allocation, what we discussed, in contiguous allocation, we are going to store the complete process, all of the instructions of your process in the main memory. Okay, so that is quite obvious. If your entire process is going to be kept in the main memory, then the total number of processes is going to be very less. Okay, if you are going to store your complete process in the main memory, okay, you cannot store multiple processes in the main memory. Okay, so because the size of your 2 processes is very large, you are able to store only 2 processes in the main memory. So concept of multitasking is very limited in contiguous allocation. Okay, the concept of multitasking is very limited in contiguous allocation. Okay, because very less number of processes are going to be stored in the main memory. Okay, so to implement the concept of multitasking, what we did, we want to keep many number of processes in the main memory. So what we did, instead of keeping the entire process in the main memory, so you put some of the instructions of your process in the main memory. Okay, if you have around 100 instructions of your process P1, then what you can do, you store 20 to 30 instructions of your process P1 in the main memory. Okay, if you are going to load some part of the process in the main memory, then we are able to store many number of processes in the main memory. Okay, so that is actually non-contiguous allocation. Non-contiguous allocation is really helpful for multitasking. If you want to store many number of processes in the main memory. Okay, so instead of keeping the complete process in the main memory, you just keep some of the instructions of your process in the main memory. Okay, so to implement the non-contiguous allocation, what we have done, we have divided our process into pages. Okay, this is my hard disk. I am considering my hard disk as a book. Okay, and this process 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 1, 3. Okay, like this. We have divided our chapters, or we have divided our processes into many number of pages. Like this. P21, P22, P23, P24. Like this. Each and every process is divided into the pages. Okay. You have stored your instructions of your process in the form of pages. Okay. So what I am going to do in non-contiguous allocation, I have divided my main memory into frames. Okay. I have divided my main memory into frames, and I have divided my processes in the form of pages. Okay. And the size of one frame is equal to size of one page. The size of frame is equal to size of page. Okay. So if I have to load process P2, okay, if your CPU want to execute your process P2, so you don't need to load the entire process or all of the pages of your process in the main memory. We are going to load some of the pages of this process like this. Okay, and I have load some pages of process P3. Okay, like this. Process P31, then process P11. This way. Okay, some of the pages of your process is going to be kept in main memory. Okay, and it is not necessary that all of the pages of your one process are stored in a contiguous manner. Okay, one process pages might be present at any positions in the main memory. Okay, so this is how we can implement the non-contiguous allocation. We don't want the complete process to be stored in the main memory because it is going to limit your multitasking. If you are going to store some of the instructions of one process in the main memory, so what you are doing? You are giving chance to many number of processes to be present in main memory. Okay, we are able to implement multitasking in a better way with the help of non-contiguous allocation. Okay, so let's suppose you are executing process P2. Okay, you have loaded some of the pages of process P2. You have not loaded the complete process P2 in the main memory. Okay, so let's suppose your CPU want page number P24. Okay, your CPU need instruction from page P24. Okay, but you have not kept that page in the main memory. You have stored some of the pages of process P2, but you have not stored all of the pages of process P2. Okay, if your CPU is requesting for page P24 which is not present in the main memory, what you have to do now? Okay, let's suppose you have not any vacant space. Okay, you don't have any vacant space present in the main memory. Your main memory is completely filled. What you have to do now? We have to swap out one page. Okay, what I am going to do? I am going to swap out this page P23. I am going to push this page out from the main memory and I am keeping here page P24. Okay, I replaced page P23 with page P24. Okay, so that I can give the required instruction to the CPU. So it is very important decision that which page to replace. Which page to replace. Okay, it is a very important decision. Let's suppose now you replaced page P23 with page P24. Okay, and again after some time your CPU require page P23 again. Okay, after some time, then what you have to do? You have to again push this page into the main memory. You again have to keep this page in the main memory. So again our time is going to be wasted to move the page from hard disk to main memory. Okay, and if you look at these two pages, page 21 and page P22, these are not very important pages. Okay, these pages work has been completed. Now these two pages are not required anymore. So what is a good option? You replace the required page with these two pages. Okay, because these pages are no longer required in the future. They are just wasting your main memory space. If your CPU is requesting for some page number P23, so instead of pushing this page P24 out, you push out these two pages and you keep page number P23 in place of these two pages. Okay, so we will discuss the page replacement algorithm, because if you are going to do lots of swap in and swap out, okay, if you are having lots of swap in and swap out, then a lot of time is going to be wasted. If again and again you have to push your page from hard disk to main memory, and you have to push out one page from main memory to hard disk, so a lot of time is going to be wasted. Okay, we don't want swap in and swap outs more. We want to reduce swap in and swap out. Okay, so what is the necessary condition? You keep the pages in the main memory which your CPU is required. Don't keep any extra page in the main memory which your CPU is not required. Okay, because it is going to waste lot of your time. Again and again you will be doing swapping in and swapping out. Okay, so we will discuss various page replacement algorithm. Which page to replace. Okay, so this is how actually non-contiguous allocation work. Okay, we are dividing our processes into the pages and we are dividing our main memory into the frames. Instead of keeping the entire process in the main memory, we are loading some of the pages of the process. Okay, we also have a one page table. Okay, we also have a one page table. Why page table is required? We have a page table. Okay, let's suppose we are storing processes P2, P3 and P1 in the main memory. Okay, so for each process we are having page table. Okay, so if your CPU is requesting for some instruction, how you will get to know that where your instruction is present in the main memory? How we will be identifying the location that where my instruction is present? Okay, so for each process we are having a page table. Let's suppose I am having a page table for process P2. Okay, what I am going to do in this page table? I will be storing the each and every information of process 2 in this table. That which page of process P2 is present at which memory location. Like page P21 is present at 100 memory location. Okay, this way. And your page P22 is present at this memory location, and your page P23 is present at this memory location. Your page P4 is present at this memory location. This way, at any place your page of process P2 is present, when your CPU needs some instruction number, how you will be providing that instruction number to CPU? Okay, because your pages are stored dynamically. We should make one index table for one process, that at which location your page is present. Your page P21 is present at 100 location. Your page P22 is present at 120 location. Okay. So now if your CPU is requesting for some instruction number, we can go to direct that memory location and we can fetch the required instruction number. Okay. Within a page we have lots of instruction. Okay. Your each process is nothing but some set of instruction. Okay, I have divided your process instructions into many number of pages. Like we have this way. Okay, I have 24 instructions of process P1 I have 24 instructions present in process P1. I have divided my process P1 into 3 pages. So each page is containing 8 instructions. Okay, so in page table I have written the memory location of each and every page of process P2. If your CPU is required any instruction, firstly I will go to that location in the main memory. I will go to the corresponding page. Okay, then I will go to the corresponding instruction number within a page. Okay, we will discuss this concept in the next video, that how we can convert from logical address to physical address. If your CPU is generating some instruction number, how you can find out the location of that instruction in the main memory. So this is the complete mapping of the memory. Okay, nothing is fixed in the main memory. At any location your instruction might be present. So if your CPU is required some instruction, how we are going to find out that instruction from the main memory? Okay, so we will discuss in the next video that how we can convert from logical address to physical address. If you have any query, I have mentioned my email ID in the description box. You can contact me on that email ID. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe my channel.